Jessica, after our interview, I realized I hadn't shared the way that my poems came to me. And it actually has something to do with the lovely podcast that you ladies have created. We talked about my journey in, kind of awakening to Heavenly Mother and feeling a desire to come to know her and have my eyes kind of opened to her. And I felt really strongly that there was something I was supposed to do, but I wasn't sure what it was. So I was just kind of, trying to take one step at a time and hoping that at some point God would let me know what I was supposed to do. So I remember it very clearly. I was sitting in my car on a busy road in Eagle, where I live, and I was listening to your podcast, actually. It was an episode with Rachel Hunt Steenbuck, and she was talking about how important it is for everyone to give their contributions. And she kind of laid out a charge to the listeners. She said, whatever you have, we need it. If you are a musician, or if you write poetry, or if you're a writer, or, if you're an artist, whatever your gifts are, we need them. And after I heard that, I had this thought come into my mind: you need to write a poetry book. And I thought, okay, that's weird. Are you sure? I don't know about that. I had written poems my whole life, but I had never tried to do anything with them other than, give a poem to my husband or my parents, or just writing poetry for myself. And that very strong thought came again: you need to write a poetry book. And so it almost felt like, I was having this conversation with God, and God was saying, you need to do this. And I was doubting myself. And, but when that prompting came that second time, I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. And it was almost like signing this contract, because as soon as I agreed in my mind to doing it, it was like these floodgates were just opened, and ideas and words and phrases just came kind of pouring into me. So for the next 3 days, I basically wrote that whole book. I was just writing and writing and writing and writing. I would have to pause what I was doing to write down the thoughts and ideas that were coming into my mind. I write about this actually a little bit in my book, but there were a couple poems I had written previously, like the one after my Egypt trip, and a few actually after my Egypt trip. And a couple of the poems, like I mentioned earlier, came later after the book was already in the process of being published. But the majority of the poems came within those 3 days. It just felt like this complete download and outpouring of ideas, of love, and like we talked about it felt like it came from God, but also felt like it came from the deepest parts of my own heart, which we kind of talked about really are one and the same. So anyway, I just thought I would share that with you lovely ladies. I'm so grateful for the work you're doing with your podcast, and the important ways that you are upholding the mother with your own gifts. So that's it. Thank you.